Hey folks, here at OS Reviews. Today we're doing a video montage in the form of charging accessories and peripherals, which you can pick up for under 15 bucks on Amazon. These are related to lightning cables for Apple devices, as well as micro USB for charging Android and Windows phones. So taking a closer look, the first product, this is a cable by Shenyi, and it sells for 8 bucks on Amazon. It's unique because it offers a dual charging tip. So you can see that right now it has a lightning tip, which is a reversible tip for charging iOS devices like tablets and iPhones, but you can also unplug this, and underneath here we have just a standard micro USB tip for an Android device. So this could be useful if you have both an Android and an iOS device that you're taking with you when traveling, and this dubs as both a charging and syncing cable, which works with any iOS or Windows computer. So over here we have just a typical USB 2.0 plug, and it comes in a number of different colors, has a 1.5 meter long cable length, and comes in a flat ribbon wire design which prevents tangling and also is quite affordable. The packaging itself is also pretty neat, so you can perhaps consider it in this upcoming holiday season. This is what the packaging looks like, this 2-in-1 cable. I will say that it isn't a technical 2-in-1 plug or a head like we checked out a few days ago. It doesn't have just one head that has both, lightning pen and micro USB compatibility. Instead, it uses an adapter which is integrated. Otherwise, this is what the back of the box looks like. We can check out some more details here. It is a smart plug or a smart charging cable, so it's not going to overheat or overcharge your device, and it's a simple plug-and-play solution. So we'll take a closer look at this in a moment. Next, we're going to take a closer look at a few cables. So if you are looking at USB cables, you should consider some by Small Electric, and they sell them in packs of 2 for, again, 7 bucks with free shipping. So this is quite nice because it has a braided design, which is extra durable and prevents tangling as well. Comes in a number of different colors, and the version you see in front of you has a 2-meter long length. It's a simple plug-and-play solution, so no drivers are needed if you're using it as a sync cable with a computer. Again, both Mac and PC are. Otherwise, taking a closer look here, the cable itself has a quite durable and thick rubber coating, has this interesting metallic accent running through the entire unit, although it doesn't have lights on the inside, so it doesn't light up or anything like that. It still remains fairly attractive, has the company's logo on one tip, which is also made out of metal, by the way, and the other side features the typical USB 2.0 connector with a happy face on it, kind of interesting. It's also a gold-plated cable, so you have an extra secure contact, which also improves the overall transfer speed. So despite not being USB 3.0, it's not as fast as 5 gigabits per second. It still has reasonable charging speeds and syncing speeds. Fully charging an Android device took us roughly 2 hours to complete, which is decent, especially for a longer cable. And again, this seems like a pretty high caliber cable in terms of the quality. We'll take a closer look at this as well in a moment. Again, it comes in a number of different colors, so you can customize it to your liking. Check out the links below. Finally, this last set we're going to take a look at actually comes in one packaging. This is by Popower, and it's a travel charging accessory pack. It sells for 15 bucks, so it's the most expensive out of the 3, but is the most complete in terms of creating a solution where you can charge your devices at home. You can also take with you. It comes with, again, 2 USB cables. Both are 1.5 meters long. They're traditional cables, so there isn't anything too fancy about them compared to the other versions we showed you. This one is just a typical cable. It doesn't have a gold-plated contact. It also doesn't have a flat ribbon wire or a very fancy coating on it, but it does work pretty well with a Android or iOS device if you are syncing or charging using it. And there is an added accent on the tip, which makes it a bit easier to plug in and unplug from your device. But otherwise, it does come with a useful charging tip. It also comes with a few adapters, depending on where you pick it up, and it has that simple USB 5-volt 2-amp output for charging up a device and plugging it directly into the wall, so AC plug. And the other one here is a cigarette lighter plug. Also features the same design. They're all made out of this glossy plastic material, which attracts a bit of fingerprints, but it overall isn't too crippling, and again features 2 USB ports. One features a 5-volt 2.1 amp output, one is 5-volt 1 amp. This one is good enough for charging most smartphones and smaller devices. Charging rates will vary between about 2 to 2.5 hours on an average average Android smartphone. And on the top here, there's a 5V 2.1 amp output, which is good enough for charging larger devices like an Apple iPad that charged up in roughly 4 hours and under. So a decent charging rate performance there. And there's also an LED light which will turn on when you are plugged in and the charging has begun. Again, it's a smart charger in the sense it's not going to overheat or overcharge your device, and when complete, charging will automatically stop, and you can of course charge two products at the same time. There are no issues there, hence the reason for why two cables are provided. You can of course leave a set in your car and then one in the office. We do wish there was a secondary USB port on the wall adapter, because it seems like there's only one on here. That would have added to the utility, but overall this is a pretty decent, I guess, travel kit that is relatively inexpensive and certainly a lot cheaper than a officially branded set by maybe Samsung or Apple or HTC that you have to pick up in stores and may sell for 2 or 3 times the price.